14 podcast for those who want to talk relationships. A lot of time women are more drawn to that, but this is strictly for the men. You know what I'm saying? We want to have men-to-men conversations. We want to encourage one another, and we want to do just that. So I have a special guest in the building. You want to kind of give him a short introduction of who you are?
Short and sweet, I'm just Chad Bees, country boy from Georgia. Love Jesus.
That's it, man. With GA, we in the building, bro. You feel me? We in the building, man. So today I just want to have a short conversation, really just about the military.
Okay.
You know, we've had exchanges, some jokes about the military, and it made me want to kind of have a conversation about it, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I guess short and sweet, we want to kind of start with when it comes to the military, right? So first of all, what branch were you in, and how long were you in the military?
The branch, I was in the U.S. Army, and I
Uh-huh.
was in for 26 years.
Wow,
26 years, yes, sir.
26 years of the Army. Wow. So, man, we start with this. What was your favorite thing about being in the Army?
It was camaraderie. You met people from all backgrounds.
Mm.
You know, everywhere, all the way around the world. You met different people,
Wow.
and it's amazing how different backgrounds
Yeah.
where you can build a team,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can have that one common goal.
Wow.
Yeah, work
Okay.
together as a team. Yeah.
So learning to work together as a team. So with you doing that, right, especially doing it with strangers, right, because you go into um, the basic training and all that jazz, and you learn, you meet all these new people, right? Was it difficult for you to kind of like befriend some of those individuals or get along with some of those individuals or kind of mesh in with those individuals, I guess, for lack of better words?
For me, no, because
Yeah.
of my personality.
Okay.
My background is I grew up in church,
Yeah, yeah.
and understanding that we're all men from
Yeah.
different walks of life. We're all men and women actually,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
all different walks of life, and
Yeah.
because the way a person was raised doesn't mean that he or she is bad because they weren't raised the way I was raised. And so, with that understanding, I knew that I can be friends with anybody. I can make friends and never met a stranger.
Yeah.
Never have and never will.
That's it. Yeah. That's interesting. So, let me ask you this then. This is the kind of number one questions. That was my number one question, like when it comes to the military, right? Because I was gonna join the Air Force one time, and I didn't because I didn't pass MEPS, right? And then my dad always like, "Don't tell people you didn't pass the test." I'm like, "Well, it's my story. It's the truth." You know, so I didn't pass it, right, so I never got a chance to get inside the military, right? But when it comes to that basic training, basic training experience, what would you say experience for you was like? I guess for your mentality back in that time.
Um, good question. I actually was able to experience both sides as a trainee,
Yeah.
and then further along in my career as a drill sergeant. So I was able to
Yeah, that's
experience
right.
both sides. So as a trainee,
Yeah.
it was like, wow, I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff that I never thought I'd learn,
Yeah.
in the country. And like, man,
Yeah.
this is interesting. This is interesting.
Yeah.
And so it's all about paying attention to instructions, to what you've been told to do, and then just execute what you're told to do.
Got you. So you would say it wasn't really that difficult for you to really just follow the instructions, whether it made sense to you or not.
It was very easy.
It was very
because
easy.
if, you got to understand, no matter where you are, what you're doing, whether it's military
Mm.
or civilian, somebody's always going to give you instruction on what to do.
Mm.
It's how you accept that instruction is it's up to you.
I got you. I got you. No, that's interesting because I know a lot of people have a hard time, with taking instructions like in general. And I guess for me, I feel like maybe if I was in that position, maybe at first it would have been hard to take instructions because I'm thinking about sometimes the instructions to me may not necessarily make sense to me. So maybe I would have had a little bit of difficulty. So for those that kind of had that experience in basic training, that from what you've seen, how were they treated?
Well, for those who just like parents with their sisters and their brothers, some parents have to talk to their children different. So no, I don't care what household you come from.
Yeah, yeah,
Your parents did not treat each and every one of their siblings the same. They couldn't have,
yeah.
because you can tell one child to do something, he'll do it quickly. You can tell another child to do something, he or she has to
A little bit of rebellion.
have a little rebellion.
Yeah.
And then you tell another child to do something, perhaps. You got to explain to him every step. Then he or she will get it done. So,
Interesting.
and that's what it is when it comes to the basic training. You got 60 kids in
Yeah.
one platoon
Yeah.
whose drill sergeant job is to develop a team
Yeah.
for one common goal.
Mm. I got you. Um, I know it's probably gonna be a little bit of a personal question, right? So
Mhm.
when it came to, I guess, quote unquote rebellion or not getting things right, and then the whole team getting, because this is what I've heard, right? Because
Mhm.
like I said, I wasn't in it, so being reprimanded or being corrected or being, I guess, for lack of better words, punished for
Mhm.
not for the team not following instructions
Yeah,
because of one
yeah,
person.
yeah.
On your end, did you participate in helping anybody get consequences for acting a fool or
Well,
getting it wrong?
initially,
If you want to
yes,
answer that question, yeah.
because there's some, you know, you know, everybody learns faster than others,
Yeah,
and there were some times where I just didn't pick up on things, and then
yeah,
because I couldn't pick up on everything,
yeah,
then that caused the whole team to suffer.
yeah,
But the flip side of the coin is
yeah,
when somebody else was rebellious,
yeah, yeah.
I understood it. So hey,
Oh, so you had grace for others that took a
absolutely,
little bit longer because you
absolutely,
sometimes it took you a little bit longer.
absolutely.
That's a type of grace that's really needed, like across the board. But I think that when it comes to the way people are raised and how people operate, some people
Hmm.
just don't have the patience to have enough grace for those
Right,
who learn a little bit slower. And so
right.
I myself sometimes learn a little bit slower myself. So I have grace for
Hmm.
those who need that little extra time. So that's good that you had that
Yeah,
mentality. And that probably helped out. That probably ministered to some people even back then. Whether you was I don't know if you were you a Christian back then.
I had the background.
I got you. Okay, you went all the way in with it.
I
Yeah.
wasn't all the way in, but I had the background.
Yeah, but that probably was just enough just to minister to whoever needed
Yeah,
that at the time.
absolutely.
Maybe a seed planted before you even had the opportunity, to really show like shine for Jesus for real. So that's
Right.
that's good,
Yeah.
and we all need a little bit of that. Okay, so let's fast forward to your time as you said it was drill sergeant, right?
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
having learned what you learned at the time, right, when you became a private, and then having to be on the other side, how were you in that position?
Oh man, one of the best jobs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why you think that? Or you say that?
because for me, excuse me, for me it was about making that soldier
Yeah.
into myself. If
Okay.
that makes sense. Because
Okay.
I wanted that soldier to be a better version of me.
That's good.
And then I know if I instill in him or her
Mm.
those my attributes or my values, of course not gonna have the same values, but similar perhaps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I instill those my values into him or her,
Yeah, yeah.
then guess what? They're gonna push the ball forward.
Gotcha.
Then as they're pushing the ball forward, it's not gonna be about me. It's gonna be about what's inside them. That's gonna what change the future. I'm pretty sure you've heard the saying. If you want to change, be the change you want. You want, right?
That part.
And so
Yeah.
that was me.
That's good. Dang. Did you ever have any experience to where you seen maybe some drill sergeants be a little too harsh? Did you ever try to maybe encourage them to be a little less, I guess, harsh for lack of a better word? Was there any
Well,
encouragement?
every drill sergeant has a leadership style, right?
Yeah.
And so in a 3 drill sergeant platoon,
Mm-hmm.
you got the in the platoon that I was in before I became a platoon sergeant, you got the bulldog, you got the baby bulldog, and then you got the person
More chill.
that's chill.
Yeah.
And so
He was the chill one.
while the bulldog and the baby bulldog was doing their thing,
Yeah.
the trainees they had to have somebody that was like, okay, when I'm not having a good day or whatever, who can
Yeah.
I talk to?
Right. Right.
And that's where as drill sergeants, you got to understand your peers. I get it, you're a bulldog. I get it, you're trying to be a bulldog like a battle.
Yeah.
So you go be your bulldog, and because that's your leadership style, there's nothing wrong with it. But you got to also have that balance. When
Yeah.
one of your battle buddies not the bulldog, and he's the one that's chill. Okay, send the training to him or her,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so they can have that time where they can, okay, relax,
Yeah.
Not per se cry,
Yeah.
but you know,
Just have a
vent.
human moment. Yeah.
Yeah, have a human moment.
I feel that.
And then
Respect.
and then a shout out to Sergeant Major Retired Hall.
Hmm.
He pulled me to the side one day and was like, "Hey, sometimes you just gotta let the soldier um, have his time, have her time, because if you let them have a moment to relax, you get a better product." I sat back, took his advice,
Yeah.
and there it is.
That's it. So what do you feel like they or have you heard any what's the word, like feedback from like soldiers afterwards? Like what did you hear about them saying about you, as far as after the fact? You know what I'm saying, after training and stuff like that.
Approachable.
Yeah.
He was a guy that was unfortunately the one that the whole platoon feared. No, don't fear me. But
Really?
I was the one that
You were feared the most?
I was feared the most because
Wow.
I was a
Why?
quiet one.
Ah.
I was the one that never yelled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the guy when you when you need that counsel, quote unquote counsel,
Yeah.
you come to Jerson Beasley. All the other ones that, right off the bat they showed their hand like all gas, no brakes, straight from the relax
I wouldn't
for a
have expected that.
Yeah.
The most feared one was the quiet one. Now I know they say that in movies and you know the cliche of it all, but the fact that you were the one feared the most, you were the one that had the most, I guess, respectable demeanor of it all.
minute. Right. Yeah.
Based off of what we're talking about now,
Mhm.
to be the one that's feared the most, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expected that.
Yeah, that's some of the things you hear in the private talk.
That's
Yeah.
wild. Okay. So, all right. So as a Christian, because this is you being saved at the time, being a
Absolutely.
drill sergeant. How do you feel like the Lord led you when it came, to that space too? Like, was the Lord talking to you about certain ways about your approach or how you organize things, or how did the Lord kind of deal with you in that season?
But it's all about treating that person as a human being,
Mm,
because you got to understand. I mean, how how did Jesus treat people?
that part.
If
Yeah.
if not if as a Christian,
Mm,
I can't act crazy because I got a funny shaped hat on and a badge.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So am I gonna be counterfeit? Am I gonna be the real deal?
That's heavy. That's good though. That's good. So then, so last question I have for you. All right. So in 2025, would you suggest or would you encourage anybody to join the military in this age or during this time, and why?
In 2025, I would personally say um, you have to really pay attention and understand what it is that you're trying to join the military for.
Gotcha.
If you love the country, as a lot of us do,
Mhm.
if you love the country and you're patriotic, by all means, do it. But if you're just trying to join because you think that, you know, I could join the army and get a check, join the army or military, for instance, and get a pension or whatever. No, do it for the love of the country, and especially as Christians,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I guess the people above you, because you're gonna always have people above you.
Yeah. Right.
It's not about the people above you. It's about the right now. What are you, and what are you gonna stand for? And if you stand for Christ, there you go.
That's it.
Everything else is already, the way is already paved if you're standing for Christ.
That's good. Wow. I was gonna say that was the last question, but I actually got one more for you. All right, this is gonna be, it's probably gonna throw you for a loop. It might, no, it may not throw you for a loop. If you could have picked any other branch outside of Army, what would you have chosen?
Air Force.
Why?
The reason why Air Force, based upon the limited knowledge I have about the Air Force,
Yeah.
they build you for success afterwards.
Okay.
From what I've seen, it's not
Yeah.
what I know for sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what I've seen is more of a business-driven branch,
Okay.
as opposed to what the Army does. We pound the ground every day.
Ground soldiers. That's interesting. Okay. Well, that's good. That's very educational and enlightening, I would say. So definitely I appreciate your your conversation and give me more insight about the military.
Absolutely.
Will I ever join? Probably not. If I'm being keep it a book, but it's good to know some more information that maybe if I would have received this information back in the time where I thought about joining, maybe maybe it could have swayed my decision, but as of now, no. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
Oh,
you.
man, thanks for
The
having me.
yes, sir. Chad Beasley in the building, man. I appreciate you so much, man. As a DJ, Grateful Radio, Mansuit Monday, man. Y'all will see this, the replay soon, and I want y'all. Hope y'all can get some great value out of the Mansuit Mondays as I get more artists, more people, just more guests in the building. So, God bless you, and I will see y'all the next Mansuit Monday.
Oh,
Shout out.
man, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.